What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 17, and we start today's episode by receiving some tournament prize money after being knocked out of the FA Cup round of 16 by Stoke in the last episode. And also Daron wants a new contract, which he might end up getting, as I have made him our captain, and he's been one of our most consistent and reliable outfield players this season. And also, to begin today's episode off as well, I hire a youth scout. Yes, I get a 5-star experience and 5-star judgment scout from the scouting network. I bring him to Middlesbrough. He's from Russia. His name is Victor Golovin, and we get him scouting England to hopefully pick us up some good youth players to play alongside our scout future star Diego Menendez. And a question for you guys today as well: how often do you hire youth scouts in your careers? Let me know in the comment section down below, because this is a question I'll be really interested to see the responses to, because to some people, youth scouts make a career, and that was definitely the case when I first started doing career modes on YouTube, no doubt about that. For me, I had so much fun youth scouting back in FIFA 13 and also FIFA 14 as well, but over the past couple of years, I found that youth scouting has got worse and worse. It's been harder and harder to get good players coming through, and also the physicals of your youth players can really put me off developing them in their later years. So a question for you guys today: how often do you hire youth scouts? Because for me, I began not phasing the feature out a little bit, but I'm not really putting as much emphasis on youth scouting as I used to. But let me know in the comment section down below today, guys, if you would be so kind. How often do you hire youth scouts in your careers, and how important are they to you to have a really fun career mode? Still, for the first game of today's episode here, we take on Stoke City at the Britannia Stadium. We faced them in the last episode in the FA Cup. Now we take them on away from home in the Premier League. The first half had pretty much nothing in it, but in the second half here, just past the hour mark, we would open the scoring and make it Stoke City 0 and Middlesbrough 1. Victor Fisher got the goal, but Menendez deserved the credit. A lovely couple of skill moves and a great through ball to pick out our Danish winger, who ran through one-on-one and put it into the top corner and gave Jack Butland no chance. So Fisher scores his second goal of the game, and we take the lead in this one and make it Stoke City 0 and Middlesbrough 1. A few minutes later, a good chance to make it 2-0 and double our lead. Callum Clutch Wilson starting this game, felt he deserved it after coming off the bench 3 times and scoring 2 late goals in the, his first 3 appearances from the club. He crossed the ball into the centre, found Diego Menendez starting in the attacking midfield role in this one, but unfortunately his header was saved by Butland and it was still 1-0. But really in this game, Menendez was the star. He kept on putting Stoke City on their heels, kept on getting past them with the skill moves, and eventually in the 73rd minute, where we've seen this story before, Diego Menendez sprints down the right hand side, cuts inside, and eventually gets taken down, and this time it's Eric Peters, who's the guilty party there, takes down Menendez and gives away a penalty. So no doubt about that, the left back gives away the penalty, and it's a great chance for us to make it 2-0 from the spot, and the man that will stand up and take it, Callum Wilson. He scored 2 goals in his first 3 appearances for the club, and now he's scored 3 in 4. What a start for Callum Wilson. Sends Butland the wrong way, gives him the eyes, and secures the points for Middlesbrough. So I'm still so frustrated. I'm yet to score a skill goal with Menendez. It is coming, no doubt about that, but it's like every time I get close, I either mess up the finish or I get taken down before I can get a shot away. This time it was the latter, but I don't mind. Wilson converts the penalties. You guys have seen this season I'm really struggling with a new penalty system, but Wilson converts that one, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, his 4th in the Premier League, his 3rd for Middlesbrough, and all 3 of these goals coming in his first 4 appearances. So Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 2, and with 4 minutes to go here, we win the ball back inside our own half and play out from the back as per usual. Callum Chambers is on the ball and skips around his man here and keeps on going. Eventually flows towards Will Hughes, who finds Saido Berahino off the bench. Berahino holds it up and finds Callum Wilson. Wilson through towards Hughes, holds it up, quick little back heel in towards Callum Wilson, who finds the top corner, and with 2.5 minutes to go, he wraps the points up in style and makes it Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 3. So I decided to start this guy ahead of Berahino and Negredo, despite being our lowest rated striker, if you don't want to include our Abraham, and also the guy that came back from loan as well. But I thought, he scored those 2 goals after coming off the bench. I think he deserves a start in this one. I wondered how effective he'd be playing from the beginning and not coming off the bench in the final 20 minutes or so to use his fresh legs and pace against the tired defenders. Well, I have my question answered in this game. Still absolutely fantastic. Wilson's 4th goal in 4 Middlesbrough appearances, and only one of those have been a start as well. I am really liking Callum Wilson right now. What a spy he is proving to be already, and that third goal as well, a really nice team build up there. A lovely little back heel by Will Hughes, and there is Callum Wilson. Of course, I said as well a couple episodes ago, the transfers I've done in this series so far haven't really been the best, but Wilson's deal already looks like an absolute steal. We paid a few £1 million plus Jordan Rhodes, who'd only scored 2 goals all year long. Well, Callum Wilson's got double that, and he's only been here for a couple of weeks, so absolutely fantastic team performance in this one as well. A 3-0 victory, a great win, and on the back of that 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace as well at Selhurst Park, where we didn't play well at all. I was thinking, how are we going to respond? How are we going to pick ourselves up against the side who knocked us out of the FA Cup in the last episode as well a couple of games ago? Well, I got my answer. It was a brilliant game, and a fantastic team performance. Defensively solid, midfield very creative in the second half, and of course attack with the goal Wilson, with the 2 goals Wilson scored. Absolutely fantastic as well, and probably we could have won that game by a couple more goals as well had we really been even more attack minded. But still, for the second and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Sunderland back at the Riverside Stadium in, of course, a North East derby. So really looking forward to this game as Sunderland will take us on at the Riverside Stadium. Away from home, we drew 0-0. So coming into this one, I was hoping for more goals, but most importantly, hoping for another win and back-to-back victories. But Sunderland started off on the front foot though, and in the 33rd minute would win a penalty as well. Dominic Heinz took down Patrick Van Aanholt as the former Chelsea left-back stormed into the area and was taken down by our number 15. I must admit though, I didn't think this was a penalty. Patrick Van Aanholt goes to shoot, he seems to miskick the ball, and the referee seems to think there's contact there. I didn't see any contact personally. Maybe I need to go to Specsavers, maybe I need my eyes testing, but I didn't see any contact. But the referee saw it otherwise, saw it was deemed enough contact anyway to give a penalty there, and gave Sunderland a chance to take the lead from the spot, which unfortunately they would do as well. Victor Valdez, just like Jack Butland in the last game, sent the wrong way by Kazri, and Sunderland's number 10 scores to make it 1-0 to the travelling side and give the away side the advantage in the first half. So Valdez sent the wrong way there, can't keep the penalty out as Kazri scores his 7th goal in the Premier League 11 minutes before the break. So we hadn't started this first half at all, just like in the Stoke game really. We didn't look good whatsoever. We have made a lot of changes for this game as it came just a few days after the Stoke game, and we have a game in just a few days time as well, but I was still disappointed with my performance in the first half. So in the second half, right from kickoff, we tried to get ourselves back on level terms. Daron found Kamada starting in the Premier League for the first time, who rolled it through towards Callum Wilson. 4 goals in his first 4 games, but unfortunately could not hit the target there, and it was still 1-0. A few minutes later though, another chance here is once again, you can see just like in the Stoke game, right from the beginning of the second half we upped our intensity, and after Martin Daron found Josh Onomer, he took it round the Sunderland defender with a great little first touch, went through one-on-one and found the bottom corner as well. He runs to the sidelines to celebrate with the Borough substitute warming up there after he gets his first goal for his new club, and also scores to make it 1-1 here and level the score. And who was that Borough substitute? You may be wondering, trying to figure it out. Who's got the bald head? It's Brad Guzan. Brad Guzan on the bench warming up across the sidelines there, and Guzan was wearing underneath the yellow bib the Middlesbrough home shirt, which I found really funny. But anyway, Onomer gets the goal, that's all we care about, and does equalise the game for us, equalises the game for us, scores the equalising goal and puts us back on level terms. But unfortunately, the lead would not last for too long, because just a few minutes after that goal by Onomer, the former Spurs man may have put us back on level terms, but Jermaine Defoe would put Sunderland back in front just a few minutes later. I surrendered possession with Daniel Ayala, who has been pretty solid in a lot of the games I've started him in this season, but I gave the ball away stupidly. Januzaj on loan from United had 2 bites of the cherry. First, his shot was saved by Valdez, it came straight back to him. He then hit the post with a header, but as it fell to Jermaine Defoe just outside the 6-yard box, he was not going to miss that chance. Jermaine Defoe, such a reliable goal scorer, put Sunderland back in front, and it's Middlesbrough 1, Sunderland 2. So some poor defending from me there, and it's 2-1 as the away side are back in the lead. But we tried desperately to get ourselves back on level terms in this game. We were coming towards the latter stages, but I just couldn't find the opening to find us that one final chance to give us at least a point and stop us from losing until stoppage time, when Saido Berahino came off the bench and was played through by the start, went through one-on-one, put it past Jordan Pickford and made it Middlesbrough 2, Sunderland 2, with basically the final kick of the game. So Sunderland coming into this one were in the relegation zone. They desperately need points down there, but so do we. If we want to qualify for the Champions League for next season and finish in the top 4, we desperately need to keep this unbeaten streak alive. And as the game was coming to its close, I was thinking we've blown it, we've lost to our rivals at home, an embarrassing defeat. I after making so many changes. The criticism surely has to fall on my shoulders, but instead, Saido Berahino comes off the bench to score his first Premier League goal in quite some time and make it Middlesbrough 2, Sunderland 2. So blush is spared, and don't get me wrong, it's not 1 point gained, it is 2 points lost, because we really should have been favourites coming into this game despite the changes. But I'm so glad to know we did get at least something from the game, keep our unbeaten streak alive. It's now been about 8 games, I think, since we last lost in the Premier League. I think I said yesterday, so like 10 or 11 games. That's a bit too much. It's been about 8 games anyway since we last lost in the Premier League, and great to know that Berahino would rescue us there and ensure we get a point. But it was really funny though as well, because as we were going towards the final stage of the game, I kept on trying to find Callum Clutch Wilson. No real surprise, right? The clue's in the name why I'd want to find Wilson, but instead he couldn't get open, so I thought I've got to give it to someone else instead. Saw Berahino was free. Could he finish like Wilson in the clutch? Yes, he could, and ensures we do get a point here and a really, really late goal. So a dramatic end to the game. We get ourselves a draw, and as you'll see with the table in just a moment's time, there are just 10 games to go. We are 1 point behind Liverpool in 4th. Our Champions League dream is still alive, but as we come towards the business end of the season, I still have no idea where we're going to finish, but I do know this for sure. The final 10 games are going to be dramatic as hell and extremely nerve-wracking. But that will end today's episode in the FIFA 17 career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do leave a like. Likes, of course, much appreciated, and it really helps the channel grow as well. Much love to you and have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode in the FIFA 17 career mode very soon.